and good day to Doctor. My name is Naida, reference number 269801. We are from Good 11 and our topic is Social Psychology. For my part, I will be responsible for presenting question 1. The chosen video is related to social psychology because it explained how a young man's life is implied by actual interaction in his social environment. As evidence, although the young man was a polite and obedient kid in his mother's eye, he changed his positive attitude after he was influenced by his friends. Then, he became there to challenge the laws by taking drugs, and in the end, he lost his precious life. Therefore, it was stated that the presence of others, which is his friends, has affected the young man and his behaviors. There's a wide range of research areas discussed in social psychology, and the compliance under social influence can be used to describe the case study. The young man in this video still decided to take the drugs at the request and encouragement of his friends, even though he already knew that taking drugs is an immoral action. Thus, it's believed that he wants to fit into this social environment, so he publicly agreed with his friends and joined the action of taking drugs together. Another research area that's related to the case study video is attribution. Basically, the situational attribution is all about the external factor, and it fits perfectly with the causes that led to the young man's behavior. It's because the young man is influenced by the situation outside his control instead of internal characteristics such as personal traits. As an individual who is studying psychology, the problem area of our selected case study video is the negative influence of others on an individual, and our opinion regarding this is agreeable. From our perspective, we agree that the stated problem area is related to social psychology, and this theory has described the reasons and causes of the problem area logically. With the theory and knowledge of social psychology, it allows us to be more aware of how others could influence us and even change our life completely. Furthermore, as an individual who is studying psychology, we believe that we will be more alert on keeping what we think is good for ourselves and correct in terms of laws and religions without being affected by others easily. So, that's all for question 1, and now I'll pass it to the next presenter. Thank you.
This doctor, my name is Tanja matching number 269509. Now, I would like to continue with the question number 2. So, the factors that were considered play a significant role in learning the behavior are family, peer, and rebellious thought of adolescents. First, family. As we can see in the beginning of the video, it showed the young man had positive behavior and attitude. The young man's action of greeting his mother indicates that he is a filious and well-behaved person. He learns this good behavior from his family and family members as role models for him since he was born and before he was involved in taking drugs. In order to address this issue, family plays a huge role. They should attempt to get to know children and should pay attention and observe every action of him, instead of letting him to do whatever he wants. Next, peer. The quality of the partner will have a certain impact on the person. The young man in the video is being influenced by his peer because people of similar age can easily gain trust. Peer with the same problem will make the young man feel that his friend know him best and understand his situation and difficulties. So even he knows the downside of the drug use, he still chooses to do it because he wants to gain the trust of his peer. Last but not least, the rebellious thought of adolescents play an important role in shaping a young man's behaviors. Adolescence is the beginning of the desire for freedom. Adolescents are often seen as independent and do not need the parents' supervision. For this reason, many parents neglect to pay attention to their children, which cause them to do the things that hurt themselves during the rebellious period. Individuals also experience curiosity and the desire to try new things in life. In this video, the young man may still be the face of desire for freedom and could not think rationally. Therefore, he could not distinguish right from wrong and held the mentality of yearning for freedom and trying the new things. Thank you. That's all from my part. I will pass to the next presenter.
Good day, doctor. My name is Sunny Ching with matrix number 270607. Now I will continue the presentation with question 3. There are several topics discussed in primary biological foundation of psychology, such as basic units of the nervous system, organization of the nervous system, hierarchical structure of the brain, automatic nervous system, endocrine system, and genetic influence on behavior. The topic organization of the nervous system is highly related to the case study because central nervous system has the fundamental role in the control of behavior. Brain in the central nervous system is a complicated organ that regulates every action in our body, including cognition, memory, emotion, touch, motor skills, vision, and so on. Especially the cerebrum that contains of frontal lobes, temporal lobes, and so on. In this case study, I will just talk about frontal lobe and temporal lobe because they are highly related to this case study. The frontal lobe defines this young man's personal characteristics. We can know that this young man has the personality of follower because he is easy to follow in his social environment, which indirectly affect his decision making. From what we can see in this video, the young man couldn't decline his friend's invitation and started exposed to drugs. However, the temporal lobe interprets information from young man's heard and view and generate related emotions. From this video, the young man may be high on emotion and making an impulsive decision without thinking too much about the consequence. Next, the limbic system. It is also the essential part that can affect a person's behavior. In this case study, the young man's behavior and emotion may be affected by the limbic system for him to survive in his social environment. In this video, we can see there are some stimulation and influence from his friends and cause his amygdala to regulate his perceptions. Thus, he gets used and obey to his friends' immoral behavior to survive in his social environment. Furthermore, endocrine system that will generate hormone to influence a person's mood and behavior. From this video, we can see that there are stimulation from exciting music, friends' persuasions, and also watching all his friends taking drugs. The endocrine system of this young man may generate hormone in his body that cause his central integrators to be affected. In turn, he made the wrong decision to take the drugs and taking the bills. That's all for my part of presentation. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Song Fang Man. Matrix number is 271221. Now I would like to continue with question number 4. So there are two suggestions on how to resolve the issue, which are addiction treatment and behavioral counseling. For addiction treatment, the first one is medicine and techniques. This helps to reduce withdrawal symptoms during detoxification. Detoxification is an initial phase of the process. Patients who do not receive further treatment after detoxifications usually return to drug use. So, if the young man in the video wants to quit drugs, then he has to get treatment and stop taking drugs. According to one survey of treatment centers, medicine were administered in over 80% of detoxification. In November 2017, the Food and Drug Administration approved the NSS2 bridge electrical stimulation device for use in reducing opioid withdrawal symptoms. This device, which is worn behind the ears, transmits electrical pulses to activate certain brain neurons. Next, the long-term follow-up to avoid relapse is also one of the treatment steps. Next, the young man should get behavioral counseling because it can help the young man to modify their drug-related attitude and behavior, improve their healthy living skills, and preserve with other types of therapy. Behavioral therapy is the outpatient behavioral therapy that encompasses a broad range of programs for people who see the behavioral health counselor on a regular basis. The majority of programs include either individual or group drug counseling or both. This program often provide behavioral therapies such as cognitive behavioral therapy, multidimensional family therapy, and motivational interviewing. So next, cognitive behavioral therapies is it help patients to recognize, avoid, and cope with situations when they are most prone to tracking drugs. Multidimensional family therapy is great for people, drug abusers, and their families, addressing several impacts on their drug misuse tendencies, and is intended to enhance overall family functioning. So the last one, motivational interviewing. It can capitalize on individuals' willingness to modify their behavior and join treatment, while motivational incentive, contingency management employ positive reinforcement to encourage drug abstinence. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good day, doctor. So my name is Chong matric number 271317. So I'll be continue by question 5, which is to emphasize two theories of psychologies that related to our case studies. So from our case studies, the two theories that related is Sigmund Freud's theories and social learning theories. So according to Sigmund Freud's theory, a human's personality is made up of three phases. The first one is ID, the second one is ego, and the last one is superego. So the ID in a human mind refers to the physics energy, which is the main component from the personality and is already there since birth. So the ego part in our mind focuses on reality principles. It comes up after the ID part, which will measure and weigh the thought to cope with a reality scenario. While the superego part in mind indicates the ability to differentiate right and wrong based on our experience, parents, and society. When we look at our case studies, the young man's ID part is extremely high because it's already overwhelmed by the emotional stress. This has made the ego part and superego part become really low and extremely weak, and finally lead to the addiction of drugs. So the next theory is about the social learning theories. Social learning theories is first proposed by Albert Bandura. So this theory is based on three fundamental ideas. The first idea is about the learning process may occur through observations. For example, modeling and imitating the behaviors, attitudes, and emotional reaction of the others. The second is about the internal mental states, which talks about the internal rewards in a person's mind. And lastly, these theories acknowledge that learning something does not guarantee that the behavior will change as a result of it. So when we look at our case studies, the young man that is addicted to drugs has a big probability that affects by the action of people in surroundings. So the young man tried to join in the groups of people by imitating the action of them. Besides, for the mental states, the young man gets satisfied by the relaxation and feelings provided by drugs and his friends, and finally this had led to the addiction in drugs of the young man. And that's all for my part. Thank you.